Roman Catholic Apologists are Pseudo-Protestants. Protestants hold to a doctrine called Sola Scriptura. That means that Scripture is the sole infallible rule of faith and practice. Catholics, on the other hand, believe that Scripture and tradition go hand in hand, providing us with Christian truth, and that only the magisterium, or the teaching authority, can infallibly define what is true faith. The Catholic individual is allowed to interpret the Bible so long as he is not contradicting the dogmas of the Church, and must also recognize that their personal interpretation is not necessarily true, but their own personal opinion. With this in mind, how would you expect a Catholic apologist to act in proselytizing Protestants? It is interesting to notice that Catholic apologists act like Protestants when proselytizing. They want to use the Bible as common ground. But the Catholic Church believes that the Bible in itself does not have the authority to persuade one of the truth of a Catholic dogma. And so, if a Protestant becomes a Catholic on the basis of the Bible alone, then they can leave the Catholic Church on the basis of the Bible alone. In attempting to find common ground in the Bible, Catholic apologists act like Protestants in two ways. They interpret the Bible and expect others to share their interpretation. And two, they assume the authority of the Bible and the sufficiency of the Bible in itself to lead someone to Christian truth. Remember, the Protestant is not trying to be guided by the authority of the Catholic magisterium in their investigation of Catholic claims. The Catholic is allowing the Protestant to act and think like a Protestant, and believes that this is a sufficient basis to lead him to truth. A Catholic apologist will say that personal interpretation has led to numerous different denominations. We can't rely on our own personal interpretations of the Bible, they say. We must have an infallible interpreter. Therefore, don't allow them to break their own rule. Hold them to their own personal standard. When they interpret a passage of Scripture, ask them, is that your personal interpretation, or is it the infallible interpretation of the Church? The magisterium does not infallibly define the meaning of verses, but divines dogmas. There are no infallible interpretations, and any Catholic who tells you that what you need is an infallible interpreter is arguing against Catholicism as well as Protestantism.